When did it become normal to romantically talk to 7 people at the same time?
Young people are experiencing and needing treatment for mental health.
I feel like I'm left out of things.
My eyelashes are complete. Let's make some coffee.
I don't know how many of you have seen 10-year-olds that try to look older than they actually are, or teens stressing over how busy they are and saying that they're about to crash out every 2 seconds. Childhood's something many of us like to look back at and remember all the good times. But I don't know if kids today will even remember the good times. Everything's moving so fast, and it kind of feels like there's no time to be a kid. But it's okay though, because everything's gonna work out once we're an adult, right? It's kind of weird. The thought of being an adult sounds nice. You get to eat ice cream every night, you don't gotta have a bedtime at 9, and you get to do whatever you want. But no one told us how hard it is to actually be an adult once we find out all the struggles and responsibilities that come with it. You can't really do whatever you want after a 13-hour shift and coming home to 3 kids. And you can't really eat ice cream every night living paycheck to paycheck and after gaining so much weight from stress. Kids and teens struggle with finding themselves, but don't they figure it out when they're an adult? It's not that easy. Being an adult isn't just more freedom. I forgot who said this, but with great power comes great responsibility. And this is what throws us off. We thought like getting older meant just more freedom. And while you get more freedom, you also get more stuff you have to do. And kids and teens are experiencing this already when they shouldn't have to. There's so much responsibilities and early stress that they shouldn't have to experience yet. The main thing in our life is school, but that's also a big source of stress and worry. I think it's dumb that we use grades and test scores to measure intelligence. It doesn't measure how smart you are. All it does is test your memory of random things that you know and show if you follow the system's rules. Sadly, a lot of us are manipulated by the system, and it starts when we're young.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
We have this mindset of, if it's not perfect, it's worthless. If it's not an A, it can go away. It feels like the school system just demands us to be perfect. So many kids and teens hide their report cards from their parents or beat themselves up after getting a B or lower on a test. And this is because of the high expectations from parents, teachers, and ourselves. Our parents tell us if we don't get A's, we're just gonna work at McDonald's all day. And some teachers call us a disappointment for not understanding material and literally crush our dreams just because we're not doing good in their class. Just because I don't do good in your history class doesn't mean I can't make money. We force ourselves to take on so much more than we can handle just to look good for colleges and to beat other students to get into those top colleges, especially the Ivies like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, all those stuff. Those are very competitive and we want to go to those schools and be the best, but this messes up our mental health so much. How many of you are in 5 or more AP or college level classes, have leadership roles in many clubs, have a part-time job, play a sport, and do hours of homework every night with little to no sleep and still feel like you're not doing enough, or you're just doing this for your college apps and resume? Like, are you okay? Are you surviving somehow? Take care of yourself, please. And you are doing enough, by the way. Being busy is fine, but we're literally glorifying something that's unhealthy and justify it as a person being motivated. I don't think all this stress really motivates kids. I mean, sometimes I work well under pressure, but like most of the time, stress is not a good motivator. There's no time to relax, and you can't even relax in summer. Those 2 months we get off are not for relaxing. They're for online classes, internships, or creating the cure to cancer. Society is literally telling kids that if they're not working, they're being lazy. And it doesn't help when parents or other people see child prodigies that graduated high school at 12 and developed a new medicine or business by the time they were 6. No hate to those kids, by the way. Like, those kids are actually amazing, but then we get hit the, why can't you be like them? It's really not that hard. You're just being lazy. What do you mean you want me to be like them? Why can't you be like them? Oh, you can't say that back, by the way, because it's, quote, talking back, and that's disrespectful when a kid does it. But if an adult does it, it's fine. Like, wow. I don't know, that literally makes no sense to me, but okay. Even if you're that smart kid or that kid that everyone's parents compare you to, it's still stressful. In fact, I feel like it's even more stressful because everyone already has very high expectations of you and they're just waiting for you to mess up and fail. You hold yourself to more unrealistic standards and you can't accept failure because failing just gets rid of your whole identity and then you lose who you are.
I also want to mention that academics isn't the only thing that stresses kids out in school. A lot of times kids have gotten bullied, and bullying is not a joke, but so many schools don't take bullying seriously, so many students are negatively affected by bullying and have done bad things themselves and even thought about unaliving or have done it. And bullying's a lot different than it was back then, but it's still ongoing.
All this stress from schools caused so much problems, especially with mental health. In 2023, the CDC reported 40% of high school students having persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness in the past year. 20% considered unaliving themselves, with 16% making a plan and 9% attempting it. And 22% reported drinking alcohol in the past month. High school students are literally crashing out from school, both physically and mentally, and they want to check out from life. They're not even adults yet. They haven't even hit their 20s and they're already feeling this. It shouldn't have to happen. And with all this going on, there's no time to go outside and have fun like we were kids or have fun like how our parents did. I feel like when we're younger and when our parents were kids, there's more fun memories. Just simple stuff like walking with your parents to the market or the grocery store, knocking on your friend's door to ride bikes together, or playing Legos with random kids in kindergarten that you didn't know at first, but 10 seconds later, you were playing with them like you were best friends. There's tons of memories and nostalgia we have, playing with dolls and cars, rushing home from school to turn on Disney or Nickelodeon, or just finding random stuff in your room and turning it into art using your imagination. But now, a lot of kids and teens can't really experience this. Before, kids would just run around, play pretend, and create fun. But now fun just feels passive and it doesn't feel as engaging sometimes. And it's because a lot of entertainment's online now, which is a good and a bad thing. Sure, it's easier for kids to talk to each other, but seeing an arcade in a video or a picture isn't the same as going to one. And calling and texting isn't the same as hanging out in person. And in the rare event that they can hang out in person, sometimes there's a point where everyone's just on their phones for some time. I've personally done this a few times, and I know it's not a good thing. It's kind of weird how something designed to bring us closer together can also make us feel more distant from others. But this is our only option to stay connected, since most of us don't or can't go outside because our parents are either too busy, the places are too far, or because of what's going on in the world. Or at least that's what the news shows. Now, fun comes from following trends and doing whatever's popular. I don't know how many of you seen Sephora kids doing Get Ready With Me's, but they're really trying to look like Kim Kardashian, even though they're 10. I don't know what most 10-year-olds were doing back then, but I don't think it was that. I feel like at most, they were just messing around with their mom's makeup and maybe drawing on the mirror. Social media and some games in general just also expose kids to tons of content that they definitely shouldn't be seeing. Why is a 6-year-old being exposed to sexual material, weird fetishes, or other harmful content that involves messing with their body in a negative way, like with these? Even the stuff that looks harmless is a huge red flag. I mean, look what happened on YouTube Kids during Elsagate. I'm not playing any of these videos, by the way. Childhood innocence doesn't exist anymore, and kids are rushing to catch up and understand everything older people do. One thing most adults have is a relationship, which many kids and teens want, but I feel like so many people try to rush it, and it's not a good thing. I'm not talking about your elementary school girlfriend that you dated for like a week. I mean like actual relationships, like ones in middle school or high school, or even in college or your young adult life. One thing I really don't understand is how so many people can just get a partner, break up with them, and then immediately jump to another one like 2 days later, and then just repeat the process. I don't understand how people do that. Like, it just makes no sense to me. So many kids, teens, and young adults feel pressured to have a significant other because everyone else has one, and their parents want grandkids. People will try to set you up thinking you need a relationship right now when you're just trying to focus on yourself or just live life the way you want to. And then they'll keep telling you that there's a certain window to get into a relationship, and if you don't get one within that window, you're just gonna be alone forever and die. This societal pressure causes so many people to start dating even when they're not ready, which it's not a good thing because love is a complex feeling, and it takes a while to find that person and be that person for someone else. Forcing a relationship almost never works out, but many couples will try to make it work just so they can say that they're in a relationship. But is that relationship so valuable to the point where you'd rather have full-blown arguments over petty stuff and pretend like you're happy when you're actually not? Relationships are a serious thing, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. It takes a lot of maturity to make it work. A lot of people don't have this during childhood or adolescence, and even some adults still don't have it. I mean, look at some partners and how they treat their partner. But even if they're not ready, they want a relationship so bad, and they'll do anything for one. All the happy couples posting on Instagram or writing on their note, "I miss my boyfriend or girlfriend," just makes us so jealous. We think the only way to be happy is to have a man or girl, and don't think about how relationships involve a lot of skills a lot of young people don't even have yet. Because in a relationship, you need effective communication, conflict resolution, empathy, and many other traits and skills. Society forces us to get into a relationship, but doesn't even teach us how to have a healthy one. Like, wow. I don't even know what society wants at this point. A lot of relationships, especially in middle school and high school, don't last for a long time. A blog from the Hive Law stated that the average relationship length for 12 to 14-year-olds was 5 months, 15 to 16-year-olds was 2 years, and 17 to 18-year-olds was 1.8 years. I don't want to destroy anyone's dreams or break anyone's hearts because it's still possible to make it work. But if you really love someone, you need to make sure to continue talking, seeing each other, and always being there for them during tough times, and make sure you don't drift apart. And if you're in a toxic relationship, please just break up for your sake and for your mental health. I know breakups are like a hard punch in the face, and breakups also contribute to kids growing up faster, but it's better to get out of it than to continuously suffer with someone you don't even like, or that just treats you like shit. That toxic person would have easily manipulated you and turned your brain into mush so they could control you easily. Kind of like how brain rot controls iPad kids. And you might be thinking, how could kids grow up so quickly? They're literally consuming Skibbity Toilet or Subway Surfers content all day. A lot of people think that kids and teens and Gen Z, and especially Gen Alpha, are the most concerning, slow, and stupid generation. They can't spell, they don't know how to talk to people, they don't know basic life skills, and they crash out every time they're asked to do something other than scroll. What do you mean they're growing up so quick? The thing is, a lot has changed now. Many parents are busy and they work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And sometimes it's still not enough. They don't have time to spend time with their kid, and they just give them iPads or other electronics just to distract them so they can have time to relax. Indirectly though, many parents will neglect their child without realizing it because they're not the ones that are raising them. Brain rot is, kids grow up with content creators, and in the past, it was pretty chill. You had creators like DanTDM, Stampy, EvanTubeHD, and many other really chill creators. But now, that's not the case. Many child content creators will overstimulate a 5-year-old's brain and reward them for being a good boy by watching to the end. And it's worse with short form content. Our attention spans are actually so cooked, but technology is not all bad because there's a lot of stuff you can learn, or there's some interesting videos to watch too. Mr. Sin, for example, carried me through AP Human Geography, and Zach D Films content is pretty interesting too. However, you also have access to tons of news headlines and stories or documentaries that just show how fucked up the world actually is. I'm not saying these videos are bad by itself. In fact, they're really important to raise awareness about issues, and I fully support these creators. But this type of content just shows how incompetent some people are and how a lot of people or Mother Nature just doesn't care about you. A tornado will literally swallow your house if it wants to, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't know, there's also been so many dumb laws and policies across the road that got passed or are currently getting passed. I'm not gonna name drop any just because I don't want to start a war in the comments. I love technology, but sadly, me and many other kids and teens get manipulated by leaders or creators that just grab their money and run. There's 6-year-olds that literally get scammed and adopt me on Roblox, or teens that invest in a get-rich guide only to lose all their money and waste their time. And I don't even want to talk about predators. I feel like kids and teens now are raising themselves with technology instead of parents or other adults raising them. Technology is a powerful tool, but it can't teach everything. Kids and teens still need life experiences and physical role models that'll be there for them. Life is complicated, and at the end of the day, it's harder for kids to be kids now. I only mentioned a few reasons why kids are growing up so fast, but there's so much more. You got bullying, rough upbringing, traumatic events. There's so many other factors that cause this, but we can't change what's already happened though. All we can really do is live in the present and move on, because time doesn't slow down for us, and it never will. But we just have to enjoy the moment and the little things before it all goes away. Don't pressure yourself to be that perfect person, and just have fun with life. Take your time, relax, and breathe. You only get one life. So live it to the fullest and build a story that you'd actually want to read. And if you're still here, I really appreciate you guys for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the video too. And if you enjoyed the video, go like and subscribe if you want to. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.